Okay, so we're going to complete a newspaper cutting today, and we're going to do so by by completing this form, and we can use the same newspaper cutting, or we can find our own. Here are some recommendations. If you want something really easy, I recommend looking through Voice of America Simple English. It's a great place to learn American English and simplified American English. If you want something a little more challenging, you might consider going to the Young Post. Something a little more challenging, you might consider the South China Morning Post. And if you want something extremely challenging, something that Dr. Wu used to read when he was in secondary school, try the New York Times. Okay, so let's see. Let's do Leba. Since you can't access the form, we'll use you as the guinea pig. And I'll complete the form for you live. So Leba, do you have a preference? Which newspaper would you like to look at?
Any South China Morning Post.
Okay, let's take a look at the South China Morning Post. All right, and so in the South China Morning Post, we have, let's see, we have the title of the paper, we have different sections, and we have different titles of articles, many titles of articles. Is there any particular one that you want to look at? Anything that's interesting? You can go to the South China Morning Post and also look yourself. You don't necessarily need to look at my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so is there any article? Would you send us the link to the article? So everyone else, Angelica, Bosco, find an article, again, in a newspaper.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Sure. And which one are you looking at, Angelica? Which newspaper?
Also the South China Morning Post.
Okay, great. And Bosco, which paper are you looking at?
South China Morning Post too.
Okay, great, super. So each of us can find a newspaper article. Okay, great. We're back. Let's see. Okay, share screen. Okay, good. Super. Thank you, Leba. So we found an article. Okay, now I'm going to the form and I'm putting the link to the article now in this box. And I'm writing South China Morning Post. Okay, Leba, who wrote the article?
Wait, let me have a look.
Okay.
Gigi, Choi, and Tennyson.
Yeah, not only Gigi and Teddy.
There are like few more.
Yes, there are
Um,
several authors.
there is Bavin, Jai, Pragas, and two more. Zhuang
Yes.
Ping He and Jasmine Ma.
So you can see here, we have a section of the newspaper. We have the title or the name of the article. We have summary of the article, and then we have the authors, the writers. Okay, and we see several writers. The South China Morning Post does this a lot. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 writers. And then finally, you see the publication date. So you actually see at the top of the page, there's a lot of important information about this article. Its name, summary, its writers, when it was published, its section. Okay. So I'm going to quickly copy and paste the writers' names and put that in our form. Here. Okay, clear that. Great job. So thus far, we found a newspaper, we found the link to the article, we found who wrote the article, and how many paragraphs are there in the article, Leba?
Wait, can you repeat?
So I'm looking at the next question in the form. How many paragraphs are in the article?
Hey,
And if you're interested, this indicates the end of the article. End of article. Okay. Okay. So you say there are 5 paragraphs. Okay. Let's check. So Leba, what is the topic sentence of the first paragraph?
The number of daily coronavirus infection in South Korea could extend those in China.
Okay, yeah, I think that's one. Okay. And then I see two.
Doctor, what
Yes.
are you guys finding?
Excuse me?
I just
Bianca.
logged in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I just logged in. So, what are you guys finding?
We are completing our newspaper cutting, and you can access the newspaper cutting in our chat. Here is the newspaper cutting. And you can find a newspaper. We're going through the South China Morning Post, and you can find an article and follow us in completing the form. So we found our newspaper, we found our article, we found the authors, and now we're counting the number of paragraphs. Leba said that in her article, there are 5 paragraphs, and now we're checking. Okay. So we see 1 paragraph, I see 2 paragraphs, I see 3. If you take a look at my screen, I'm going to draw some arrows. So here's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. All right, now I'm going to continue. I see 5, I see 6, I see 7, I see 8, I see 9. Leba, do you see what I'm doing?
Yep.
Okay, so I already count more than 5 paragraphs. So can you recount and give me another number?
Okay.
Okay, so I think there are more than 5 paragraphs in this article. I'm going to count 2. Thank you. Bye-bye. Angelica, how many paragraphs are in your article?
29.
29, great. And Bosco, how many paragraphs are in your article?
Still counting.
Okay.
Dr. Wu, I think there's something wrong with the form.
Okay.
When
Yes.
you when you try to answer who wrote the article, it said it has to be a valid URL.
Okay, great. Thanks for checking. I'm going to change that right now. Let's see. Change that. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. Now I will double check. Short answer, short answer, short answer. Okay. So this should be short answer. Don't need that validation. Paragraphs. Ooh, wow. Thank you, Angelica. There would be a lot of problems if I didn't validate this. Okay, super. All right. Thank you so much. Should be okay now. Bianca, did you find a newspaper article yet?
No, I can't find it because like my internet isn't really fast.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I find it.
You don't necessarily need fast internet. You can look at the article that Leba and I are looking at. Here you are. Try that.
Yeah, because my internet is really slow, so it's not working.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't see the picture.
Okay. Leba,
Yes.
do you have a number of paragraphs?
I found 28.
28 paragraphs.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get 28. Can you see my screen, Leba?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to count. Okay, here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39,
is 42.
40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. Okay. Leba, I'm going to give you another article, and I want you to count the number of paragraphs in it.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to count because I'm not sure what happened, but you've given me the wrong answer twice. So I might want to try another. I'll give you another article and just count the number of paragraphs.
That's fine.
Okay. Here, I'm going to first put down the number 50. Okay. Just quickly, let's see. Let's try this on Voice of America. Okay. Take a look at this article and count the number of paragraphs in this article.
Okay.
All right. Bosco, how many paragraphs are in your article?
About 50.
About 50. Why do you say about and not definitely 50?
I don't know, 54, I think. I counted, and that's a lot of paragraphs.
Okay, can you show me the link? Share the link with me, Bosco, and I'll count too.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see how many paragraphs are in this article. Okay, Leba, I'm going to count now. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now, why did you say 18, Leba?
Because I counted the bottom too.
Okay, great. So I think, Leba, technically, the paragraphs in an article should end in when the italics begin. Do you see over here, the italics begin?
Yeah.
Okay, that means don't count this. This is
Okay.
not essential for the article. So if you
Okay.
take a look at the South China Morning Post article, you also see the italics too, right? You see the italics here, which means, hey, it's not essential to the article.
Okay.
Okay, do you get what I mean? That at the end of a newspaper article, sometimes we see this stuff that in this slanted language, and it's like, oh, well, it's not essential. Okay, so, okay,
Okay.
good. Great. Bosco, did you send the link? Can you send it to the chat? Okay, here we go. Okay.
It's here. Mm-hmm.
So, Leba, can you help me to count paragraphs too? Oh, Angelica, can you help to count the number of paragraphs in this as well? Let's all quadruple check. the number of paragraphs. Okay, so let's say the first paragraph begins with an elderly woman. All right,
Oh.
so do your
Okay.
count.
Dr. Wu, can you send the link? Because I can't find it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's in the chat now. Count the number of paragraphs. And again, the first paragraph should be an elderly woman. That's Angelica, how many paragraphs did you count?
I'm not done yet because the one where I use on the website versus the one I use in the app is different. I don't know why.
Okay. Leba, how many did you count?
11.
11. Okay. Can you tell me what's the first word of the first paragraph?
An elderly.
Okay, what's the first word of the second paragraph?
At.
Okay, what's the first word of the third paragraph?
A.
Okay, what about the fourth paragraph?
The.
Okay, what about the fifth paragraph?
While.
Okay, what about the sixth paragraph?
Give me a minute, I'm lost.
Yeah.
Separately.
Okay, what about the seventh paragraph?
The blaze.
Okay, what about the eighth paragraph?
The. No. Fireman.
Okay, what about the ninth paragraph?
The man.
What about the 10th paragraph?
Fireman.
What about the 11th paragraph?
F.
Okay, now Leba.
No, wait. There's only 10 paragraphs.
Yes. So again, the article should end when the italics begin. So you see the squiggly words again at the end. That means this is not essential information for the article. It's just something else. All right, so I count 10. You count 10. Now, Bosco, how did you get 50?
I think I might accidentally counted the other articles that is
Okay.
below that article that I'm supposed to count.
Okay. Yeah, so
So-
let's be careful, guys. If you take a look at my screen, the South China Morning Post can be tricky sometimes because you go smoothly from one article to the next. So when you're reading an article on the South China Morning Post on a web browser, you really have to be careful to look for the squiggly lines. That actually means the article's over. Article's over. And then let's see if we can't count. Angelica, do you mind sending your article to us and we'll count the number of paragraphs?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, Dr. Ikram. Welcome. Okay, great. So everyone, let's go to Angelica's article now. And let's count the number of paragraphs. And hopefully the third time's a charm, so that all of us will reach the same number of paragraphs. We haven't been able to do it thus far, so hopefully the third time we can all arrive at the same number. Now, the first paragraph, the first word of the first paragraph is as, okay? Now count the number of paragraphs in the article. Okay, Angelica, how many paragraphs did you count?
27.
Okay. Dr. Ikram, how many paragraphs did you count?
I just come right now. I don't know what are you talking about.
Okay. If you go to the chat, there's a link to an article. Click on the link to the article.
Okay.
And then count the number of paragraphs in the article. Leba, how many paragraphs did you count?
25.
25. Bosco, how many paragraphs did you count?
I don't know. I'm still counting.
Okay. We're going to wait for either Bosco or Dr. Ikram to have a number, and then I will share my number.
I got 26.
Got 26. Okay. I got 27. Now I'm going to count. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. We don't see italics or those slanted words here, but we see comments. That also means this is the end of the article. Stop. Okay. So it seems like counting the number of paragraphs is actually it's challenging. It's not easy. So maybe we'll work on that another time. Okay, so let's go back to the form. Now, let's try to find 5 words. interesting words from your article. And you might want to not only find the words, but also define the words. What do they mean? You can use a dictionary if you want, but you can also use your own words. Thank you. All right, so I'll say it again. Let's find 5 words in your article and then find the meaning of these words. You might want to use your dictionary. You can also use your own words too, if you want. Thank you, Angelica. So Leba, would you let me know when you find 5 interesting words from the article, your article?
Okay. Is it the one I was reading, or?
Yes, the one that you chose.
Okay.
You have 50 paragraphs and you have many words. Choose 5 interesting words. Angelica, have you found 5 interesting words?
I'm trying to, but I don't find words interesting. It's more so like a clutch of words, I guess.
What do you mean? Can you give me an example?
I guess
Bosco, did you find 5 interesting words?
Still finding. I only got 3 words. I'm still finding the rest of 2.
What are your 3 interesting words?
Investigation.
Yeah,
No. It's investigating.
yeah,
Committed.
yeah.
And how can I read this word? Unconventional.
Can you
I
type it?
don't know.
Type
I
the
can
word.
type. I can type the word.
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh, here we go.
Unconscious.
Oh, I remember this word. Unconsciousness.
Yes. Well, it's unconscious right now because I don't see NESS. If you see NESS at the end of the word, then it's unconsciousness. You
Oh,
see, it's
okay.
just unconscious now.
Unconscious.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when you add NESS, then you get unconsciousness.
Okay.
And if you're not unconscious, then you can be conscious.
Okay.
So the UN at the beginning of the word has a particular meaning, just like the NESS at the end of the word. It adds a certain meaning to the word conscious. Leba, did you find 5 interesting words?
I'm still finding.
Okay. So after you find your 5 interesting words, you might want to use a dictionary or use your own knowledge and define the words and then put them in the form. So Angelica, have you found some words?
I found 2.
Yeah, what 2 words?
Postponing and rumors.
Okay, great. So we don't need 5 words. With what words you have, maybe you can define them now or rephrase them in your own words and put them in the form. So I see, Leba, you put down respiratory, commission, great word, transmission, infection. Okay, great. Can you define respiratory for me and commission for me, Leba? I'll use my definitions for infection.
Okay. Wait, can you say the 2 words again?
Can you define respiratory and commission? Okay, you sent me some words.
Okay.
These are your words. I already defined transmission and infection, so can you define respiratory and commission? Okay. Respiratory, related to breathing. Okay. Respiration. Okay. So when we try to define words, let's try not to use the word in the definition. It's relating to something. What is respiration? Breathing. Okay, so respiration is breathing. Related to breathing. So maybe that's a very simple way to put it. Respiratory, related to breathing. Something to do about breathing. What about commission? Okay. Now, thank you for sharing that. That is a definition, Leba. I'm not sure it's the definition that is the right one for the article. So when sometimes words have more than one meaning or definition. If you look at my screen, look at how many definitions there are for commission or commission. As a noun, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 definitions. As a verb, it has 3 definitions. So there seem to be at least 8 definitions with whether it's used as a noun or verb. And I suspect that the definition that you provided isn't the one that is being used in the article. Let me take a look. Okay. So China's National Health Commission. Leba, is this a noun or a verb?
A noun.
Yes. Okay, so it's a noun. Okay. Let's take a look at the dictionary definitions. We have five definitions. Which do you think cannot be the right definition?
The fourth one.
Yeah, number 4 cannot be the right definition.
The third one.
Third one, that's right, it's not money.
And the first one.
And the first one, it's not an instruction.
So
okay.
it's
So
basically the second one.
I agree. It's a group of people with a function. Okay, so China's group of people with the health function said. So the group of people in China with the health function said. Right? People speak, people say things. You're right. Money cannot speak. So it's the second definition. A group of people with a function. Great job. Commission. A group of people with a function. Okay. Last things last. How much of the article did you understand? Angelica, how much of your article did you understand? 175, 25, or 0%?
I think I understand all of it.
Okay, 100%, great. Leba, how much of your article did you understand? 175, 25, or 0?
See, I didn't read it.
You did read it. Leba, you actually did read the article. That's how you were, 1, able to count the number of paragraphs. That's reading. 2, that's how you were able to find your words. You were actually reading.
Maybe 75%.
Okay. All right, so Leba, you actually were reading. Let me assure you. In order to count paragraphs, you have to be able to read. In order to find interesting words, you have to be able to read. In order to figure out the definition of commission, you have to have read the article. Okay, so you actually did read it. So 75, great. Bosco, what percentage of your article did you understand?
75% because I read not a lot, but I understand about it.
Okay, great, super duper. So before you submit the form, try to summarize the article in your own words using your interesting words. You don't have to write 150 words. You can write up to 150 words. You can write a sentence if you want. So Leba, can you
Yes.
summarize the article in your own words, maybe in a sentence or two?
Okay. Wait, just let me have a look.
Yeah. Oftentimes you can find a summary of the article in the first and second paragraphs of an article. But again, you have to use your own words. So often in the first and second paragraphs.
Dr. Wu, I'm ready.
Okay, great. Can you send your summary to the chat, please?
Am I supposed to speak it? Can I speak it?
Sure, you can.
There are a total number of infections of 1,595.
There are a total number of infections of
1,595.
1,595. Yeah.
And there are increasing number of cases in China every day.
Okay.
Seoul is also having continuous rise in the rate, and South Korea's cases have surpassed as well.
Okay. So there are an increasing number of cases in China every day. Seoul is a city in South Korea.
Oh.
Do you want to talk about Seoul or South Korea or both? China is a country. South Korea is a country. Seoul is a city. Seoul is a city in South Korea. Okay, what do you want to say?
South Korea's cases have been even more South Korea's cases are even more than China's, as founded from a report in the latest figure.
Okay, Now, I'm not sure. That doesn't sound factual. I'm not sure if you've actually summarized what the article said. If you take a look at the first sentence of the article, take a look at could. That means possibly, but not actually, not real yet. Not real. The number of cases in South Korea is 1,095. That's not the number of cases in China or the total number of cases. So there are an increasing number of cases in China every day, yes. Now, what do you want to say about South Korea?
South Korea's rise in rate could lead to an surpass of China's number of cases.
Okay, good. If you take a look at my screen, I'm going to help you out here. South Korea's high infection rate could lead South Korea to surpass China in the total number of infections. I'm helping you out right now. So we wrote 3 sentences. 1, there are an increasing number of cases, coronavirus cases in China every day. South Korea's high coronavirus infection rate could lead South Korea, again, could means maybe, not actually, not real life yet, could lead South Korea to surpass China in the total number of infections.
Yeah.
There are a total number of there are a total of 1,595 infections in South Korea. Okay, good. And now I'm going to submit, and this is yours, Leva. You did a great job. Okay, do you guys have any questions?
No,
Okay.
thank you for helping me.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very welcome. So we have more homework next week, and we can meet and do the homework together. I actually haven't seen what Ms. Chow has done for our homework. It seems next week you have to write a story and a feature article. What in the world? Okay, so it seems like we have to do some writing next week. We have to write a story and a feature article. So would you like to meet again either tomorrow or Monday to start writing?
Monday?
Okay, so let's meet Monday. Let me take a look at my calendar.
No, my class is like 37. With the other people there. Okay, fine.
See what time we can meet on Monday. Okay, good. Free. Excellent. So maybe, do you want to meet at the same time at 1:30?
Yeah, that would be fine.
Okay, so let's
Yeah.
meet at 1:30 next Monday, and we'll start writing. Yeah. Apparently there's a Zoom. Oh, okay. Let's just start writing next Monday. And,
Okay.
I'll send out the reminder to your class. Okay, great job, guys. I'm going to stop the recording now, and I'll see you on Monday.